Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. We just got done watching WWE 24, NXT Brooklyn. The WWE 24 show, honestly, to me, is a very, very good show that is on the WWE Network. I think it is something that they really haven't really taken advantage of fully to its benefit of giving everyone like behind the scenes sort of a look at what goes on inside of WWE. The first episode, which was WrestleMania 30, it seems like it was a long time ago, and that was episode 1. Since then, we've got a documentary about Booker T, which I think was supposed to be put out on a DVD, but WWE got cold feet and ended up pulling the DVD. From there, we got a Roman Reigns documentary about his WrestleMania 31 experience, where people said that if they would have made this same style of documentary about Roman Reigns before WrestleMania 31, the guy probably would have got over. Honestly, tonight, I wasn't really that excited about the NXT Brooklyn WWE 24 because of the fact that it seems like the Brooklyn show was just a few weeks ago. We don't really feel that removed away from SummerSlam, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not really that excited about the NXT TakeOver special, which is going to be coming up on Wednesday this week with the WWE Network. I just feel like it seems like it's too soon. I thought that when they first started doing these NXT TakeOvers, they were going to be one every 4 months or something like that. And this seems like just yesterday with SummerSlam weekend. But this was a very, very good special. Definitely in this documentary, before it started, before you actually got to Brooklyn, you got building blocks, behind the scene things of what is NXT? Where did it come from? Triple H talks about where this developmental was when he took it over and sort of took Johnny Ace's job. FCW was being ran out of Tampa, and FCW was basically ran out of just like a it just, I remember stories about FCW when it first opened that it took them close to a year, maybe even longer than a year, to put in restrooms for the wrestlers to go to the bathroom in during training throughout the day. The wrestlers were actually having to leave training and go across the street to, I believe, which was a gas station, and go to the bathroom there. And this is the story that I remember like it was yesterday. I mean, like, there's no doubt in my mind I'm getting confused. And one of the main reasons why they ended up getting the bathrooms finally installed for the wrestlers was only because they were going to start running shows, and they wanted to be able to bring fans in for the people to be able to go to the bathroom and enjoy the show and things like that. But a lot of the wrestlers that were involved with the NXT Brooklyn show all were in FCW, dating way back to the times. And Triple H had a really good stat, basically saying that if you look at the WrestleMania 31 card, as they were putting it together, he finally realized that in every match that was on WrestleMania 31, it involved someone that was involved with NXT, whether if it's Big E Langston, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose. It just shows you how much this is evolving and how much this really is helping the current wrestling product. I feel like one of the problems with WWE right now is that NXT is able to make stars. If you watch NXT, you definitely have your favorite wrestlers that you like. You might even have people that you don't like. But through, the way that they write the show and the way that they put it together, there's people that get over, and there's people that you like. They talk about Blue Pants basically coming in for a one-time only appearance, and the fans wanted Blue Pants so much that they're now bringing her back on a regular basis and using her on shows mainly because of how over she is. But we get sort of a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff. I believe this was a 1-hour special. It seemed like it was really long. As I was watching this show, I really couldn't pull myself away. I thought I was going to be able to really sort of turn this on and sort of be watching something else at the same time, because I felt like a lot of what they were going to be showing was like highlights of the matches. But I felt like that, honestly, once they started playing the matches, I was drawn into them. Like, I really wanted to see them yet once again. I mean, The NXT Brooklyn show probably is one of the best takeover specials that NXT's ever done. They talk about, when NXT left Florida for the first time. They did the show in Ohio, which was, it was sort of built up around everybody, but one of the main things that was being built up was Alexa Bliss was going home. She was going to have a shot at the championship. A lot of people thought she had a chance to actually win it. She actually ended up, falling flat on her face and not being able to get the job done. The way they told the story was that from that show, they built up and they went to Philadelphia. But honestly, I thought that the WrestleMania show was the second show that they ever did on the road, and then they went to Philadelphia. But they sort of said that, things like this. And when they set the WrestleMania show, they sold 5,000 tickets, and that was like huge numbers that they thought they would never be able to do, promoting a show under the NXT banner. Really not, saying WWE, it's just come see NXT, come see the guys that wrestle on Wednesdays on the WWE network. And they said they sold that show out, and that was big time numbers. I remember that when they said they were going to do NXT live from the Barclays Center, I thought they were out of this world crazy with how big of an arena that was. They set goals to try and sell 6,000 tickets. One thing leads to another, and I think the number that they were saying was on the show that they sold 13,000 tickets. And you see Triple H and what seemed like, which was, I thought it was like a board meeting, and then they pulled back, and it actually looks like it's in a setting of like what a college like classroom would be, with the professor up front, doing professor things. I never went to college, but I went for 2 days. I signed up and I signed out. I was really scared, but it just wasn't for me. High school kicked my ass, but he's up in the front and he's talking to everybody about what they're going to be doing and what they're going to. And he just says, like, wow, this really blew the expectations out of the water that we never thought we were going to do. Once we get to Brooklyn, they follow around. We get a lot of interviews from Kevin Owens. We get a lot of interviews from Sasha Banks, Bayley. They're all talking about the fact that these will be the last shows that these girls do for NXT, because they're big parts of the main roster now. They show John Cena having his debut match against Kevin Owens on Monday Night Raw. And I still get chills from that. They showed Kevin Owens' son at home. Of course, this was a very viral video. They went bananas because of the fact that his wife recorded it in a Sports Center. ESPN were tweeting this video out about this was a must-see thing to see his debut. Of course, he comes out and he doesn't challenge John Cena, and he has the match down the road, which they don't really talk about. It's in the Nation Chamber. But Sasha Banks and Bayley both read these poems that were written when they were kids, and telling their life story about how they want to be wrestlers, and showing it how long this has been in their life, that they want to get to this point, that they want to really achieve their dreams. And Sasha Banks, of course, at this show was NXT champion, but she's already on the main roster. Bayley is sort of the girl that they're pointing out the fact that she is the girl that's sort of been forgotten in all of this. I mean, in one swoop, NXT lost Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch, 3 of the best 4 workers that NXT has in the women's division, and Bayley is sort of left behind. Now she has this match going after the NXT championship, which I thought was really sort of 50-50. I really thought, I really thought that Bayley might win this match because of the fact that Sasha Banks was on the main roster now, and she wouldn't be able to be going back and forth all the time. But also at the same time, I thought that maybe Sasha Banks was going to need that NXT championship, and in the Divas storyline that was going down at the time of the Divas Revolution, sort of looking at like Team Bad, had something going there. She never really took over the leadership role of Team Bad, which I thought she was going to do. I thought that really she could have punked out Naomi and Tamina. Basically, like Naomi is sort of looked at as the leader of that group, but maybe Sasha raised her voice or something like that. And Naomi says, "Hey, watch what you're talking to. I'm the one around here." And Sasha says she's the boss, and you sort of see him like, And I thought that's what they were gonna do. They never really pulled that off. And You know, we meet Bailey's mom, we meet Sasha's mom, you know, and they back up the story about everything they're doing. But I really couldn't believe how this was like must see for me, because it's just like, you know, I've seen these matches, and I didn't even see them all that long ago, but I just couldn't even pull myself away to watch Monday Night Raw or anything else. So honestly, when it comes down to it, I don't even think I'm going to watch Raw. I got bad, you know, texts about what was going down on Raw tonight, and it seems like it's sort of a must-miss, not a musty show. So I'll just probably listen to a review of Raw tomorrow morning, and then I'll listen to The Observer Live, and I think I'll get a pretty good feel about what's going down. Only Lesnar was on Raw tonight, so no Undertaker. Maybe Taker next week, and we'll see what's going down. But peace out, everybody. Make sure you check out the WWE 24 NXT Brooklyn special. Very cool behind the scenes of the NXT pay-per-view from SummerSlam weekend.